So it's all in kind of like, it's not what you say, it's how you say. You just want to be open and upfront. You don't want to be like, hey, there could be potential for a fire. No, don't say that. You don't want to kind of build up to it. You don't want to be like, listen, so there might be some sparks from the welder and there may be a fire. No, listen, we want to make it smooth. Hey guys, what's going on? Cody from Escapade Made. It's been a little while since I checked in last. I've been honestly just working on sanding down this bus, prepping it for paint. We are probably within 1 or 2 weeks of like actually painting this. I'm really excited about that. But as you can see, guys, I'm in a new location. I am no longer at my old storage yard. That's kind of what I want to talk about today. So my old landlord, he was like, hey, Cody, we're gonna go from paying 90 bucks a month to $140 a month for the same exact storage space that I've been paying for. And I'm like, okay, is there any benefits? He's like, no, you're just gonna pay more. And if not, then you're gonna leave. And I was like, sounds great, I'm gonna leave. The title of today's video is how to find a place to work on your bus. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world because a bus is not an RV. I mean, technically, once you get it registered, it'll be registered as a motorhome, but a lot of storage places are a little apprehensive to just let you park and work on your bus. I mean, I've talked to storage places, they want like insurance. They want to know the bus is in your name. They want to, they want a CDL if it's not. And it's just like, yo, dude, I literally just need a spot to like screw stuff into the side of my bus. Like, I didn't need all this extra stuff. So I say all that to say today we're talking about how to find a great storage spot within your budget and one that you can like work on your bus for. It's not as hard as you think. It is a little tricky, but if you know how to finagle the bagel, then you should be good. So let's get into it. So guys, my first tip is gonna be find a mom and pop storage place. Now, by mom and pop, I pretty much mean a non-corporate storage place. If you just type in storage units on like Google Maps, you'll probably be able to find 100 within, I don't know, a 10 or 15 mile radius. Storage units are basically a dime a dozen. However, there are corporately owned ones that are in multiple states, multiple area codes. The thing is, with corporately owned storage units, they usually, just like anything corporate, they have to follow like a set amount of like rules and principles. There's usually not a lot of room for wiggle room.
Did you see the memo about this?
So with corporately owned storage units, you kind of come into an area where they have all the room for bargaining and you are just some person paying for a space. Now guys, a couple quick little pro tips for you to be able to figure out if you're talking to a corporately owned storage unit or just like a mom and pop storage unit. A mom and pop storage unit, once you Google it, they may or may not have a website. If they don't have the website, that's actually better because it shows that they're not as like corporately, properly, I guess, appearing. Like a 1-800 number is like a big indicator that, okay, this is corporately owned. One in which you have to like, you can set up the entire thing online. They probably have that as like a corporately owned. Mom and pop ones, you usually have to call and maybe give your card over the phone or go in and like sign something. Like here, I had to go up front and like sign something. I had to give them my card. The more mom and pop this is, the easier. The more corporate you go, usually the harder it is to find a spot to work on your bus. Alrighty guys, wow, it's bright up here. Okay, so tip number 2 is be open, honest, and upfront. You don't want to lie about what you're trying to do, guys. It's like the last thing. People are gonna find out that you're working on your bus. People are gonna find out that, you know, they hear power drills, they might even hear a welder, and they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? So you want to be open and upfront. When you have 3, maybe 4 mom and pop shops kind of like, I guess circled in on that you're like considering, be open and upfront. Be like, hey, I have a school bus, number 1. And number 2, I'm gonna be working on it. I'm converting it into a motorhome. Is that an issue? If they say no, then I would probably go into a little bit more detail. Be like, okay, understood. I'm gonna have power tools. I might occasionally need to weld. Welding is a big one because welding is sparks, and sparks could potentially mean fire.
Procedure.
So, but you just want to be open and upfront. You don't want to be like, hey, there could be potential for a fire. No, don't say that. You don't want to kind of build up to it. You don't want to be like, listen, so there might be some sparks from a welder and there may be a fire. No, listen, we want to make it smooth. Yeah, listen, I might be working on the bus. Every now and then there's going to be a welding here and there. You just got to run a saw, nothing serious, you know, just something to be able to work on my bus. Is that an issue? See how like my delivery is not as like, so it's all in kind of like, it's not what you say, it's how you say. Be open, honest, and upfront. That is my second tip. All right, tip number 3, negotiate your price. So guys, what's really cool about mom and pop shops is they're not corporately owned, which means they're not super set on their prices. They have prices yet, but prices can be negotiated.
You copy that? You're fired. You're hired. You're fired.
Especially the people that you're talking to who own the spot, who have a lot of pull. As you can see, this is my storage unit. As you can see right there, that's my bus. Storage unit, bus. Bus, storage unit. Bus, storage unit. You get the idea. So basically, guys, I was able to kind of negotiate a little bit. So when I first was looking at the spot, she's like, it's gonna be about $125 per month for your bus. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I just kind of mentioned to her, well, you know, I have a lot of stuff that I may also want a storage unit to put stuff within. She's like, okay, that's interesting. It's $125 for the storage unit. So between the storage unit and the bus, I was looking at $250 a month. And I said, hey, well, you're cool with me working on the bus, right? She said yes. And I was like, well, how about this? I will park my bus right here and I will rent out a storage unit from you and I'll pay you $200 per month and I can put a card on file right now. They love that idea of like having a card on file. Usually any kind of sales, I don't know if you know this, but if you're able to flash around a card on file, they love that because that's something they can know for a fact they can pull from each month. If you're going to a new spot and they want $150 per month, be like, hey, how about I give you $125? I can give you my card right now. How about I give you $100 and I can pay for 6 months in advance right now? People love the ability to kind of have that that security of being able to like take your money essentially. So guys, don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit. I have my storage unit right here and then I have my bus right here. So I keep a lot of like my tools, my generator, my trailer right there, and then just walk right over to the bus. It works out really well. So that's my third tip, which is don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit. Hope that helps. Bonus tip. Alrighty guys, my bonus tip here, my last tip, is to really just like be a human to the person that you're renting a space from. Be honest and upfront, and really what comes next with that is just be like open with them and be a human. Whenever I talk to the owner here, and we kind of negotiated this deal to where I could have one storage unit and one space to park my bus, I told her straight up, I said, listen, you know that I'm working on the bus. If you have any issues at all, if someone I'm parked next to or stored next to, if they have any issues with you, just come to me first. Like, I would be more than willing to help them, to accommodate them, because the last thing I want to do is get kicked out of here. I really just am looking for a place to pay my monthly dues and work on my bus and not have any issues. And I mean, it's so great whenever someone who's renting from you just right off the rip is like, hey, I want to help you, I want to help each other. Let me know if you have any issues ahead of time. I'm more than willing to accommodate. And it just really kind of sets the tone for that renter-rentee relationship. I really want you guys to be able to work on your bus and have fun with it. Overall, it's a journey, not a destination. So, all right, guys, that is it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, concerns, or if there's any other tips that you think that I missed, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, guys, hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Hopefully in the next video, we will be painting this thing. So it'll be, oh, I'm so nervous. All right, guys, have a good one. I will see y'all out on the road, baby.